So the story goes that a girl took her pet snake to the vet and told the doctor that it had not been eating for a long time. When she told the doctor that she had been sleeping with the snake, the doctor told her to get rid of the snake immediately, as he suspected that the snake was sizing her up and preparing to eat her. But could this really be true? Was a person's pet snake really sizing her up to eat her? Okay, now let's bring a few details into light. The snake in question is said to be a python or boa of some sort, and it is said to be around 7 feet in length. Now, would a snake like that really look at a human being and think it a potential meal? Well, to no one's surprise, my answer is no. And I'm gonna tell you why. For one thing, it is not in the snake's interest to intentionally starve itself to accommodate a meal that is too big. Starving itself is not going to make more room in its body. It's not going to make the snake any bigger. It's just not going to work. People have been keeping snakes as pets for well over 40 years, and in that time, a snake's feeding habits have remained the same and unchanged, as if they were surviving in the wild. Being a predatory animal surviving in the wild, dying of starvation is a huge risk. And for animals that can't find food fast enough, starvation is their most common enemy. Predatory animals surviving out in the wild don't know when their next meal opportunity is coming, so it's not likely that they'll pass up an opportunity for a small meal in favor of a larger meal that they aren't even entirely sure that they can even take down. So no, a snake is not going to pass up small meal opportunities in favor of one that has a chance of not even happening. It'll essentially be starving itself for something that might not happen. "7 feet is a pretty large snake. That's a fully grown boa constrictor. Although 7 feet is pretty large, it is nowhere near the size required to bring down and eat a fully grown human being. While people have been eaten by snakes in the past, the snakes involved in those stories are very large, usually between 15 and 20 feet long, and they are usually pythons. That being said, a snake that is only 7 feet is not making the cut required. Another important detail to point out would be that snakes are ambush predators. That is, they lie in wait, tucked away, hidden in a spot, waiting for an unaware animal to come too close. And then they strike, quick and suddenly and by surprise, quickly immobilizing the animal and then killing it. The slightest mistake and the prey item gets away. So knowing this, you could see a snake would not take the time to size up a prey item. It simply does not have the time to. No prey item is gonna willingly sit around and wait as a predator decides if it wants to eat it or not. It simply does not make any logical sense. Prey items get up and run away from predators as soon as they have the chance to. A snake, being a stealth-based predator, does not want to be noticed until the last second, and that last second is it doing its stealth takedown. A snake only has a short window of time to decide if it wants to eat something or not. It's not gonna sit around with a still living prey item making a whole life plan of when it wants to eat it. There simply isn't a circumstance in a snake's life where it's gonna have that much time. And they certainly will not starve themselves for it. Seeing what you just saw, mealtime is a split-second decision, not a long-term plan. Snakes do not measure their meals. So a snake is not gonna sit around waiting until it can eat something that is far out of its league. They simply do not have time for that. So, now that we know what we know, why would a snake just suddenly decide to stop eating? Well, for one, the answer might lie in poor husbandry. People that keep reptiles usually keep them inside heated enclosures. The one in question, sleeping with its owner, was kept outside of one. The heated enclosure exists for a reason. Snakes like large boas and pythons tend to be from tropical countries, meaning that they prefer temperatures way warmer than what you'd be comfortably keeping your house at. So from that, the snake in question was most likely too cold. A snake that is too cold will struggle to digest its meal, and so it will stop eating and it will search for warmth, a source of heat, and it found that by curling up next to a warm-blooded person, its owner.